go like this. We got to squeeze in there, good brother.
Squeeze it there.
Oh man,
Move it back.
don't don't get scared, there, brother Rainbow.
Yeah,
Don't get. Come on, we can be
yeah,
sensitive a little bit.
yeah, we can be sensitive.
Look.
Yeah, I was in the corner.
He got-
I was hiding in the corner like a spook eye.
He got further away from you. Like, look, I said, we got to squeeze in. He moved over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, I think we're good. All right. Okay. What's up with you, good bro?
Man, I'm good, my brother. You know, nice to finally be able to come, man, and sit with you, man, and have a conversation.
And have a conversation.
A conversation.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the conversation, just a conversation.
All right, so we got the people out here, and not the conversation, but a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the people out here. I think they know who I am a little bit, but we're gonna have this on multiple platforms, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
I guess I can start off. I'm Dr. Dennis Asar Winkler. I'll leave it like that right now. Look, let's do it like this. Let me be like the interviewer.
Yeah, that
How
might
about
work.
that? How about that?
just might work.
And then
That just might work.
So what's up with you? Tell the people about you. I know. Let me just say this. This good brother right here. I was speaking with another childhood friend of mine named Troy Ferguson. I was about to think about should I put his name out there, but his name everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
his
doing
name is
wonderful
everywhere.
things right now, man. For the community, man, and I want to give a shout out to Troy, man, for doing what you do, bro. Coming from where we come from, man, we don't get these choices, man, to do these things the way that we're doing now. I just want to commend him on his good work.
Yeah, he and I'll just say Mr. Leveless for this conversation. And they was like, I don't know how somehow we got on a conversation about you, and they said, I just say Fat Chris. I think he out there too. So we I don't know how we got on a conversation about you, but they was like, I need to link up with you. They was telling me, bro, Dennis, you gotta link up with Rainbow. He out there, he out there doing his thing. So tell the people who Rainbow is, Brother Musa.
Yes, sir. Well, my name is Rainbow. For those that do know, and for those that don't know, my name is Rainbow. Islamically, my name is Musa. In Islamic term, that means Moses. So I want to greet everyone in the language of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I also want to greet everyone else. Hotep, Ashe, Hallelujah, Amen. And for those that doesn't subscribe to any cultural setting, what's up, Donnie?
So you really diverse, huh?
Yes.
So you speak multiple languages, including Ebonics.
yes. I try to take my intellect to another level while being incarcerated.
I want to make sure they can hear you though, good bro, because you got the nice baritone.
I got the Barry White.
Yeah. So you
White,
try to do what? And I'm gonna be right here, and I'll come in when I need to. So you try to take your intellect to another level.
I try to take my intellect to another level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ex-offender.
Mm-hmm.
2 tours.
2 tours.
Not saying it as a badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is when we go through life and we go through things in life, man, it's up to us to use our intellect, our experiences, and the things that we have read, and the things that we know, and the things that God has given us the talent to understand, and bring it over and give it to other people. At a young age, man, I chose to go to school. But I also, at a young age, understood, man, that I wanted to go to college. And then knowing I started my venture into education. Of course, man, like I said, man, I've been incarcerated. I went in at the age of 16. So coming back out here, it's like, dang, I was a child when I went in, but now I got to come out here and be a grown man. And people don't know it's very big challenges today.
Yeah.
Came home, tried, had to go back again because God wanted me to go back. It ain't about me. It's always about Allah. He sent me back.
Yes, sir.
And And the second time I went to the federal government, I wasn't with the state anymore. I was with the feds. And things changed for me a whole lot. I got caught up in some things that led me back. I only stayed home about 90 days, so to speak, and went completely right back.
Let me do this. Who's Rainbow? Because we're gonna come back, but so that's part of your journey. But who is Rainbow even before then, and who is Rainbow today?
Who was Rainbow even before then, and who was Rainbow today?
Yeah, I mean, because I told you, right? I haven't seen you in some time. I told you that I said, you remember what I said? I said the brother I remember, or the trait that I remembered you by.
A young violent man.
Not violent necessarily. I just remember you had a right punch or something. I think it was a right.
It was definitely a right.
It was a right.
It was definitely a right.
It was a right, and I remember we used to in middle school specifically. For some reason, we used to travel in packs and sometimes go to other little packs and do some things that we probably shouldn't have been doing. But nonetheless, but I know that's just a piece of Musa. So who's the Musa even before then? Can you tell me about him?
Oh man. Born and raised in Baltimore. From Baltimore City. Grew up in the Old York Road, Wilson Park area. First house was on Old York Road, literally. Then we moved to Belgian Avenue.
Okay.
I didn't go to Guilford.
You didn't go to Guilford?
I didn't go to Guilford.
Okay.
I went to Northwood.
Okay. You was a little more
yeah,
uppity.
There's no boost. If that's what you want to call it. So we went to Northwood and didn't really have a troubled childhood at that time.
Okay.
Of course, but trauma sits in at an early age.
But you lived around there even when you went to Northwood?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, never. I always lived around the way. I just went to Northwood.
Okay.
And my childhood, it wasn't really that bad. But my first trauma was my mom kidnapping me. You see what I'm saying? Took me from a home that I was at and brought me on that side of town. So originally, I first lived in East Baltimore, then moved to Park Heights. So I have young ties in Park Heights. And from there, I came over the Old York Road and grew up from there. Went to Northwood, like I said, went to Northwood Elementary, got into a little mischief here and there. Never did much to other people. I tried to be a bully once.
You tried to be a bully once?
I tried to be a bully once.
Didn't work out?
Yeah, no, it didn't work out. He beat me up.
Okay, I was wondering what was the outcome.
No, you know, when you're a bully, because you gotta realize my name was Rainbow. I'm black with a pink lip. So it was like, oh dang, I gotta take that frustration on somebody else. And the minute that I did it, and he beat my butt, that was the end of that.
Okay.
That made me understand that, man, just because a person looks a certain way and acts a certain way doesn't mean that they don't have that tenacity to protect themselves.
Okay.
And I learned the hard way. As I learned everything in life, the hard way.
What grade was this about?
I was just about the third, maybe fourth grade.
Third, fourth grade?
Yeah, maybe third, fourth grade. My father was in my life. Mom lived with my mom, but my father was there. He didn't live with me, but he showed me a lot of things, man. At elementary school, my father would take me to the Daily Bread. For those that don't understand what Daily Bread is, the Daily Bread is where homeless people go to eat.
Yeah.
And he would take me down there. And he would tell me, he would say, man, always understand that there's somebody that doesn't have. Just because you don't think you have, you have. There's always somebody that's doing worse than you. And that always stuck with me. It always resonated with me. Then he came back with another lesson. used to take me out and collect cans
Mm-hmm.
throughout the city. And we used to go in, of course, turn them in. So it was two things that he was trying to show me back then.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to people. You're not in a worse situation than you think.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also showed me how to make my own money.
Okay.
Um,
Multiple lessons.
Yes, even though it was just picking up cans, it was, money. I went to middle school. I went to Chicken Pen. I didn't go to Rowan Park until later on in life.
Okay.
And by me going to Chicken Pen, it wasn't that many from our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that means I had to be the extra guy.
A little extra.
A little bit extra.
Stand out. So.
Yeah, I had to stand out.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Because back then our neighborhood had beef with every neighborhood in Baltimore City.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't do nothing. We couldn't even go to school. We couldn't skate. We couldn't play basketball. We couldn't do anything without going through these things. The furthest we could go out the hood, we could always do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the furthest that we used to go was to play ball, and all of that was in our, in our vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
And with that coming along, I ended up going to, I don't want to skip, but I ended up going to prison. I got locked up, first charge. I ain't gonna tell you who I was in.
So you didn't want to tell you.
I ain't gonna tell you who I was with.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was with Troy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got locked up for stealing gasoline.
Oh, really?
I was stealing gasoline for a dirt bike.
For a dirt bike.
For a dirt bike that I couldn't even ride. I didn't even know how to ride it.
So you got double lessons from your father, and then you having a dirt bike probably was illegal driving it, and then you also was stealing gasoline. You didn't even know how to ride
I
it.
didn't know how to ride a dirt bike. So the gas wasn't even for me.
Oh, okay. It was okay. I get it. They sent you was on a mission.
No, all of us was on a mission. I was just the one, the dummy that grabbed the can.
Okay.
And in middle school, that's where Rowan Park. Let's go to Rowan Park because Chicken Pen was.
Was that 6th grade?
Yeah, it was about. No, I came to Rowan Park in the 8th.
8th. Really? Okay.
In the 8th.
That's interesting.
And that's where all this knockout stuff comes from. So that means it came from another school of survival.
Okay, so you learn how to fight. You learn how to fight.
Yeah, I learned how to fight.
Okay.
I learned how to fight.
Dang. Okay.
I learned how to fight.
I didn't even know it was the 8th grade though. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was in 8th grade. And I didn't graduate. I didn't graduate.
From the 8th grade.
Yeah, I didn't graduate Rowan Park.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all graduated, I had to go to Harvard City. They sent me to Harvard City.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't graduate, but they put me out.
But that's a high school though, isn't
Exactly.
it? Okay.
So now I'm going to an alternative school. Mr. Ruffin made, he helped me get there.
Okay.
And from there, this is where my life in drugs started. Started selling drugs.
9th grade.
Yeah,
Something like a knife.
Yeah,
Something like a knife.
something
Like
like a
in
knife.
between knife.
In between,
and
yeah, in between there. But of course, we were still bikes and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
But let's not, get all the way into my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And by me going to prison, I learned some things.
Mm-hmm.
I understood some things.
Mm-hmm.
And began to flourish mentally with some things. Hence, my traumas that I dealt with as a child, it boiled over in the prison.
Oh, okay.
It boiled over to me having to be someone, not gonna say that I'm not, because that's just who I am.
Certain aspects that you had to come out of you that that's not the complete you, that you had to that it's not the complete you, but that aspect had to come out of you for survival in a sense.
Oh, definitely was always survival.
Yeah.
I consider myself a survivalist. Meaning that anything that's put in front of me, any adversity, I'm going to go, I'm going to fight, I'm going to look, I'm going to try to get it done. And try to get over that adversity.
Yeah.
So today, this is why I do what I do.
So that's why so you've been through some things, and through that process, I'm hearing you learn some things.
Yes, sir.
And you saying you said you had one trip, you had a second trip or one stint, and the next stint you didn't get your lesson in the first stint, so you had to go back to school. And then that second stint, did you learn?
Of course I learned. What I learned was, if you're going to be for the people, be for the people. I learned was, if you're going to be in a religion, be in that religion.
So practice it.
Exemplify.
Embody.
Eat, sleep, use the bathroom. Because once I went to the federal government, I started noticing and seeing different cultures and different people. And once I started interacting with these different cultures and different people, I began to understand that black people are not the only people that exist, that's one. Black people are not the only people that's going through poverty, that's two. Black people are not the only people that these people are lining up at disproportionate rates. However, we are the most populated in these institutions.
So back up real quick right there.
Here we go.
So now I think that's key what you just said. So you began, there was some light.
Yes, sir.
And you saw the world a little bit more with a wider lens.
Yes, sir.
Before you saw the world in more of a myopic, more.
No, I saw it in Baltimore City. I saw it from the state of Maryland. I saw it from Belgian Avenue. I saw it from East Baltimore West. I never seen it from no other point of view.
That's key.
You get what I'm saying? Yes.
That's very key, because and people sometimes can't really picture that. Because I think sometimes, especially for people who don't live in cities like Baltimore, like literally in Baltimore, you don't really have to really engage with other cultures like that, especially when we were growing up.
Exactly.
I mean, you might have to deal with a white person here and there, but they never really even mattered that much to, like even though we knew they might have had more money or something sometimes or things like that, but they really didn't. They didn't really matter in that real world. The police maybe or something like that.
Well, I'm gonna go back because I got a story.
Another story.
When I was young, I think I was about 9 years old. I made a phone call. I dialed the numbers and just. I thought I was calling my aunt or someone, and a white man picked up the phone. And I said, "Hello, may I speak to Tanya?" Now I was calling the girl. I said, "May I speak to Tanya?" And he said, "Tanya doesn't live here, boy." I said, "Huh?" He said, "Tanya, are you a nigger?" And that was the first time I ever heard a white man use the word. But he did not just use the term. In person or in life. You see it on TV. You heard it with Malcolm and Martin and all those great leaders that came before us. You heard nigga, die. You follow what I'm saying? But I didn't hear it myself personally, unless it was another black man saying this to me.
Right, absolutely.
It was cool. It was cool if you said it to me. But when this white man said it to me, man, it was a different feeling. It was a different sting at 9 years old. It was a different sting.
Absolutely.
So that right there let me understand that not only was going on TV back in the 90s, in the 60s and 70s, in the 50s, it's going on now, but me as a child still can't identify with that. But that's a part of my trauma. Because I was actually called a nigger by a white man, and it wasn't in my community.
And it's also part of maybe that trauma, but it also reignited historical trauma.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I have a similar experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got sprayed by a water hose leaving Northern High School one day by a white man who owned the gas station. who didn't want me to use it as shelter, and I was walking off to catch the bus to 55 at that time, and he sprayed me anyhow. I took him to court. I won. It was they was actually about to lock me up,
Right.
and I'm the one that called the police. But yeah. So, but I did take him to court. My father called. Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah. Oh yeah. So.
Yeah, so that's what, once I got in the federal government, man, I started to see life and things for what it really was. I started to see people for who they really are.
So what did you see and what did you notice?
Well, I noticed first and foremost, like I said, the first three things, that black people are not the only people.
What does that do for you?
What does that do for me?
Yeah, notice that black people aren't the only oppressed, the only ones experiencing problems, and the only one
It makes
exists.
me look at humanity as a whole.
Okay.
I love my people.
So-
Am I racist? Yes, I am. I'm racist to death. I am.
What do you mean?
I am. Yeah.
What do you mean?
What I mean by racist?
Yeah.
That means I love my people.
Okay, what is it? What
That
is
means I love everything. A racist is one who loves his ethnic group and his culture. That's what a racist is.
what are you talking about?
No, I want you to.
So that's what a racist is?
That's what a racist is.
Can you spell that for me? I'm trying to figure out if we say the same word.
A-C-I-S-T. That's what it said the same.
Oh, that word, not.
Racist.
I'm thinking maybe you saying R-A-C-E-S, but you saying racist, a racist. Okay,
Racism.
all right. So I'm gonna go with your definition.
Bigotry.
A bigot.
Yes.
Oh.
No. I'm not a bigot.
Okay.
I'm not a bigot.
Okay.
I don't go that far. But see, there's a difference. But see, that's the difference, and that's the line between racism and bigotry.
Well, I'm neither. I'm not. I love my people. I don't even. I don't subscribe to me as a black person, melanated person, Morse person, whatever you want to call
Who are
us.
your people then, bro?
Huh?
Who are your people?
Who are my people? No. I am saying, as that, I am those people. But I don't believe that in this particular framework instruction system that we live in, that I can even be racist. I think I can practice discrimination, prejudice, all these type of things. I think I can even practice a race-first philosophy.
Oh, so let me ask you this. So prejudice, that's not a form of racism?
Well,
Because you're prejudging another individual, and most times we're talking about race, we're not talking about anything else.
I think prejudge is a natural instinct, a natural part of us that we make quick assertions about situations. Now, I think that I could be prejudiced, right, or what have you. But to be racist, from my understanding of racist or racism, is that racism is not necessarily a behavior of an individual, but it's more of a construct of a group of people, and how they infringe or misutilize power over another group of people by subjugating them as a whole through their power, laws, every vehicle they can.
Racism is a system.
Racism is a ideology that's akin to white supremacy, or it is white supremacy, that manifests systematically.
Okay, so once again, I'm gonna say this: ideology is a system, right, of thinking of your culture, correct? What you think.
I could agree with ideology is systems have ideologies that back them.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So they're one and the same. That's synonymous. That's just like having a head. That's just like having a head with no brain.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's just like having a body with no fingers.
I'm listening. We getting spicy, yo. We getting
all these things go together.
Okay.
So that's it. So when you talk about ideology, you talk about a group of people that perpetuates something.
Okay.
But what if I'm only one person on that center stage and I'm perpetuating it by myself?
Well, I can go whatever definition you want to have.
No, I don't want you to go with the definition I want you to have. I want you to go with the definition that
no.
and the people can understand.
No. I can go with the definition that you're using, but I don't think you're a racist.
What you think I am then?
I think you love your people.
Okay.
I don't. But also listening to you, I don't believe that you. From what I heard, I think you have a wide enough lens to also acknowledge the humanity in other people.
Of course, without a shadow of doubt. But when I say racist, I say it again. Racist is what? One that loves his people, right?
All right, so
And thinks his people that are that I did say it, I did say this at first, and that believes that his people are the greatest people on earth.
all right, so I'll go with your definition. Let's go. So you're racist.
I'm a racist.
I'm going with
I
your
love my
definition.
people. But what the federal government did made me look at other races and understand that everybody is the same. Now I'm looking at humanity. And I'm not scaring them back because I'm still a racist. I want y'all to know that I'm still a racist. I ain't scared. You know,
Let's see what's that. I'm listening, brother.
but that's what puts me where I go.
Yeah.
Where I'm going at now. I understand now that it's better to smile than to frown.
Better to smile than frown.
Yeah.
When you learn that?
I just learned that real talk like 2015.
2015.
In the state, I never smiled. As a child, I never, like, I wasn't a happy child. I wasn't one of those giddy childs.
Yeah.
So to see it now and understand humanity and understand other people makes me smile because I understand God now. See, that's the difference. I didn't understand him. I knew who he was. I was raised in the church. Been in church all my life. Went to prison. Became a Muslim. I first went to the Nation of Islam. From the Nation of Islam, I became a 5%er. From a 5%er, I've read the Moral Science of America. I've read Egyptology. I've understood Masonry. I've understood Confucius. I've been traveling and landed at Sunni unorthodox.
So you found a home?
I definitely found a home.
Okay. But you well traveled nonetheless.
Well traveled. Because in order for us to teach anybody, we must know many things. We don't have to know everything. We must know many things. Meaning these many things come from your experiences. Some of the stuff you may have read. Some of the stuff you may have heard. Maybe the stuff that you may have heard somebody else has done, or that's what it was. And you put it in the back of your psyche. And you say, hold on, that's an experience. You're not saying like, we're not thinking like, okay, this is an experience. But later on down the line, you put it in what we're going to call it a bucket. You put it in your mental bucket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's back there. So when it comes out or when that subject is talked about, you can readily say, oh yeah, I know about it.
So you know a lot.
I know enough.
Enough?
Yeah, enough.
Enough about a lot.
Enough about it. Enough to teach a young man today that's selling drugs, that's whoring, that's doing drugs, that has no morality because he has no respect for man, woman, nor God. It's easy for me to go and tell him about something like kindness.
Yeah.
Because I was once there. It's easy for me to break down how much money I made back then to how much money I'm making now off of synthetic drugs. Whoring, womanizing, whichever one we want to call it, because this is what goes on in black society, especially when you're in the streets.
Yeah.
Every woman is yours
Okay.
in your mind, so you believe because you think you got a few dollars.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell him that multiple women, you're taking multiple souls with you. So that means what you're doing is spewing around souls all nilly-willy. You get what I'm saying? Without an understanding of what you're doing.
Absolutely. I just had this conversation the other day. That's why I dapped you up or pounded you up, is because the other day we had this conversation, and now there's this conversation around, what do they call it? Men had their time to be, in other words, I can't remember what we call it, hoes. So they said now what's happening is people are saying women too are now deserving of their whole face. And this is now being normalized in our community. What do you say to that? Because now look, you talk,
So, is she allowed to go through that phase? Why should she be? Because the difference is a man and not being biased
oh
about
boy,
anything.
hold up now.
About a man having sexual intercourse with multiple women, and who's to say he's putting semen in all these women? However, he's still having sex with them, so the soul is dead. Sometimes soul ties is produced through this and all. But with a woman, many men are ejaculating in her. So that means it's a pool of souls, a pool of individuals, a pool of, if you're a man that don't have no morals, no principles, use a gut, she has a part of that in her.
Let me ask you this: where do you get that frame of thought from?
Where do I get that frame of thought from? I get it from reading.
Reading, like
I get it from my experiences.
I'm saying because you're using a frame, so you're saying that you're leaving souls and semen, right?
Yes, sir.
Both of them are S's.
Yes, sir.
The double S. Any more S's? Sex, semen, and souls.
Sex, semen, and souls.
All right, so we got 3. So we can.
Yes, sir.
So where's that frame of reference come from? You know? You remember?
I want to say it came from. I read a book.
A book, okay.
And I read it with the ISIS papers, so that I'm trying to remember which.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
No, because what I do is, when I was in the joint, what I do is I use 2 books at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, but it's cool though. And what I just wanted to know where it came from. Did it come from your religious ideologies?
No.
Or did it come from somewhere else?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Let me go back. I'm gonna say this. It came from many understandings and many ideologies.
So you cross-reference.
You get what I'm saying? So I cross-reference. I looked at this. I looked at that, and I said, "Hold on."
Makes sense to you.
So it has to make sense because when you have a young lady that's sleeping with multiple men, right? Even if you know about it, I know about it, anybody else knows about it. This is what she's doing. She's allowing who I've had sex with, who he's had sex with, because like you said, they going through a whoring stage. So a whore does what? Have sex with everyone. It doesn't matter. Am I correct?
So men have.
Oh yeah, we was womanizing. I'm not talking about opposite sex. I'm just
I'm saying.
talking
So
about
what
the
they're saying
opposite
is
sex.
men have been whores. This is what they're saying, and they had their fun. So now it's time for us to be allowed to have our whole phase. Now y'all old brothers.
Well, hold on. Oh, let's go back. Didn't women always have their fun?
Okay, hold up.
Didn't Miss Mabel have her fun back in the 60s, in the 70s?
Well, tell me more.
Didn't Eloise have her fun back in the 50s and 60s? See, we can't just bring it down to 2024 and talk about, oh, now you want to start whoring. Women have been doing this from the beginning of time. I'm not talking about slavery times. I'm not talking about when it was forced upon them, when somebody made them do it. I'm talking about when these women would go out, man, and it was cool to hang out with multiple men.
So you saying it's some historical...
There's some historical views to that, man. You can't just come out the blue and say, oh, in 2024, oh, I want to go hoeing.
So you saying it's not a new thing?
It's not a new thing, man.
So what I say is, I look at it a little differently. So I agree that I feel like it damages all of us. I'm talking about the whole phase for the men, the whole phase for the woman. I think it's acultural. And what I mean by acultural is it's not systemic, it's not systemic, it's not systematic, it's not what's in the best interest for us in the long run. And when you say we leave souls, and as a psychotherapist, and as you as also a person that practices mental health, I say it causes trauma and leads to trauma, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So and even the men don't even realize the trauma that even being a whore leaves on them until later. And or if they were being, because men were also, older women were doing things with
younger men. Ain't no question.
And especially when we grew up. Now we know we can't say some names, but look, we knew those little girls. Some of them was off we couldn't even have a turn with them. Some of the young ladies around our age because they had. I'm talking about all the way back in,
Yes, sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about all the way back in elementary school. Some of them was messing with 20-something-year-old men. So I mean, but I counsel women today, and they all wanted the dope boy. They all, well, you know, they sold crack or whatever, right? You know, run out where they was like crack. You know, they say dope boy, they had crack boys too, right?
No, actually, I don't believe up on the road it was ever a dope strip.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was always crack, right?
Yes,
But at the end of the day, they wanted the hustlers.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I talk to women now today, and they, like 9 out of 10 who I counsel, they even pushed that back so far, and they thought about like, yes, I did all these things, and I did want this guy. You know, all the women, and I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I mean, it's so many things. This thing ain't new, and it hasn't. Being a whore has never worked for us. Let me just say that from either side, and I'm using a whore across the board.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
all it has done is cause trauma in our community, and it's caused trauma that, and I like to say, look, I don't know if I remember if I talked to you about this, but I say those who grew up during the same time that you and I grew up in communities like the communities that we grew up in, and I don't even think it's just the communities we grew up in, because in some kind of way our community was a little different than some, like we wasn't like down the hill.
Was from everybody.
Yeah,
everyone.
It wasn't like we was down the hill, and it wasn't like we was up Black Raven, but it was like a little in between. But really,
we was bougie gangsters.
It was a little different.
And you know, yes.
But real enough that you wasn't. It was like, and when I say real, I'm not saying like, I'm saying it wasn't like you was front. It wasn't like a front neighborhood. It was like,
no, you are who you are.
Yeah.
You are who you are.
Right. So so what I'm saying is I lost track. But where you gonna go at right now?
No, we was there. We was there. We was there on people across the board.
Oh, and I'm saying that I think there's trauma.
Yes,
from that time that many people our age who look like, I'm talking about they ain't never been to prison, Rainbow. So they ain't never been to prison, but they look like on the surface that they doing okay. A lot of us don't look like on the surface that we're doing okay. But then there's lots of us that look like we're doing okay, but we've never truly healed or done the work to really compete with the stuff that happened in those 80s and 90s that we experienced. I'm saying the things that we saw and the things that we experienced, I'm saying it may seem innocuous. It may not seem like it did anything to you, but the things that you really had to experience growing up in that crack era, it's
horrifying.
It's horrifying, and it was so normalized that we think we okay.
Well, when you grow up in something, and this is what you see every day, isn't that your reality? Is it?
Is that rhetorical?
Yeah, it's not even rhetorical.
It's absolutely your reality. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, if I get up every day and do the same thing repeatedly, and see the same thing repeatedly, this is who I am, right? If I'm 13, I want to go younger, because see, we go 13 is that half and half stage. If you're 5 years old, as a young male or female, and you see sex, you ain't supposed to be saying none of it.
Yes.
But you're in a closet, pants rubbing, at 5, 6 years old.
Absolutely.
How do you know these things?
Absolutely.
Where do these things come from?
Look.
This is this is why boys, some boys and some girls, this is why we become very fast sexually.
Yes, hypersexual.
This is why we become whores. Because for the male is, all right, shucks, oh shit, you in a candy store. You're in a candy store. There's so many different shapes and sizes of women, and you've been seeing it all your life. You see Shelly and Mike across the street.
How old was this?
67.
67. You know, people, when I tell them this, they tell me they can't even fathom that that's a real thing. So what I be saying to people like, hold up, you acting like y'all wasn't doing stuff when y'all was young. When y'all talking to these children now, I say when I was young, when I was in the first grade in kindergarten, people said they wasn't virgins because they was rubbing pants.
Rubbing pants.
They thought they were having sex. Some of them probably said they was having sex.
Some of them thought they was pregnant.
Yeah, all of that. And people are like that didn't like they're like I don't know if they blanked out their mind or something like never happened. But I'm like what? Like when I went to Guilford. You say you went to Northwood, right?
Northwood.
So everybody up there wasn't a virgin besides me. I wasn't saying nothing. I was like, everybody wasn't a virgin in their mind. Literally in the first grade, everybody, I'm not a virgin. I mean, this is what people were saying in the first grade.
Right.
Is that did you experience that?
I don't think I experienced that. I know my first kiss was in the first grade.
Not you, but I'm saying you've heard about people rubbing pants in the first grade and thought they weren't virgins anymore.
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
I just said some of them thought that they was pregnant.
I know, but people are telling me they never heard of this. Like they like I'm like, no, when I was younger, they was already doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you grow up.
And then also going off in the alleys and going in the
corners,
corner closet, in the bathroom, in the school, and all types of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to get that off.
So either way, it's traumatizing.
Absolutely.
Either way, we grew up looking at things and seeing things as being a part of our reality that should not have been a part of our reality.
Absolutely.
As you said, was abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
At 5, at 2, at 3, 4, 5, 6, you should be a child.
Mm-hmm.
You should be playing with G.I. Joe men, Legos, whatever it is that your childhood played with, that's what you should be doing. Mm-hmm. You should be going outside on the playground playing and having fun. You should not be worried about sex. You should not be worried about what's for dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that a child should not be worried about. But some of us, as we grew up, we had to think about some of those things.
But you're making a great link. And with this link is you saying that early introduction to sexual behaviors has created a certain type of addiction that creates a hypersexual desire that we still have that has us now trying to normalize being a hoe.
Exactly. But why wait until 2024?
And trying to normalize being a hoe because I don't want to have to deal with the addiction.
But see, these are the same individuals, and I'm not knocking nobody.
Right, absolutely.
But
we
I
all got
didn't
work.
want to speak on it. But these are the same women, because if women want this empowerment all of a sudden to have that whore, that whore, you get what I'm saying? That whore, or so that wild oats, or however they want to put it.
Yeah.
Their new motto today is F these children.
Tell me more.
A lot of these young girls today are saying F those kids.
Because they want to sell their wild oats?
No, it's just F those kids.
Okay.
And I'm getting somewhere with this.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be a whore and want to say forget your kids? Because we have to understand if you're having sex 9 times out of 10, if you use a whore, you like it with nothing on. So that means what? You're getting ready to bring another child to this world.
So you saying you're noticing a trend of women
I've noticed, yes.
that was kids.
I noticed for a fact.
No, he said that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it. I'm saying it because I hear it.
You hear it. Literally hear it.
I hear it literally on a consistent basis.
In the work you do, or just in
not
general?
even in the work I do. It's in society.
And we want to make sure we get to the work that you do, because I know we're kind of going through this.
It's in this society, man, where these young women can say F those children because they think that these children are putting too much on them right now.
Where's the father? I can't be talking
9 times out of 10, man, dad is incarcerated, or dad is in the streets, or dad wasn't given the proper tools to take care of himself. So how can he?
So it's a lot of stress out here.
It's a lot of stress, man.
And now she's so stressed, she's saying F those kids.
F those kids. In some respects, they do have a valid point, but in some respects you don't. There's more respects you don't than you do.
Say that one.
It's in more respects that you do than you don't. You get what I'm saying? I mean, because you say F these children, but you don't want good or bad, you still give them whatever they want.
Mm. It's hard though,
You
bro.
say F these children, you the same ones that are moving into the county that think you get away from the city.
Okay.
And then they go out there and do the same thing and
Mhm.
possibly get murdered. Or go out there and sell narcotics. It's the same thing.
So what you saying? You saying that that there's no discipline.
There's no discipline. There's no men, first and
There's no.
foremost.
Mm-hmm.
There's no accountability.
And then at some point she throws up her hand and just be permissive.
I give up. F those kids.
I can't do nothing else.
I can't do nothing.
'Cause I tried.
I can't. I tried.
So, but again, now if we can look at not normalizing these behaviors for the next generation to get
Yes,
to the
sir.
point where they're stressed, because now I'm not even using condoms and dad is in prison and all these social structural issues are happening now, and you at the point you saying F those kids.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun while you was doing the thing, but the thing ultimately has certain types of outcomes and
It was
ramifications.
fun while it lasted.
So we can't normalize that type of behavior.
Okay. Okay. So now it's up to the men.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the men to step up, start teaching,
Mm-hmm.
start training,
Mm-hmm.
and start understanding these young men.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the mom to understand that this is your child.
Mm-hmm.
This is your man child.
Mm-hmm.
This is your son. He's not your boyfriend. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to take it off the man and give it to the woman. I'm going to give it to both of them.
Take what off?
The trauma. Like I said, for men,
Mm-hmm.
we don't step up.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
We're not addressing issues
Mm-hmm.
from a male perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If I see a young man doing something that's not right, then I'm incumbent to say something to him, especially if he respects me and he knows me.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's not incumbent of me to wash my hands and say, man, I don't care nothing about them.
So you have a certain level of obligation.
Of course, because this is what's being done.
So it's not giving back for you is the duty.
It's a whole duty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of redemption.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think God brought me this long, man, and Lord knows I've been through some things, I've done some things to not be sitting here talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about prison, I'm talking about death.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There has been some things that I've done that could have led me. So I know that what I'm doing and why I'm going at in life is what I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I call the men out, but I also have to call the moms out too.
Mm-hmm.
All the way across the board. Because I'm talking to the moms.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, in the work that I do, I'm a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I mentor young men and young women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's not just about the boy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about the young girl too.
Mm-hmm.
Because she has to understand how it is to be treated by a man.
Mm-hmm.
And the young man has to know how to treat a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I deal with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're not getting in society is coming to me to give to you.
Mm-hmm.
If I have it. If I have the tools to give it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give it. So that's why I find it very important that our children understand that we respect and do care for them.
Mm-hmm.
But in this recent society,
Mm-hmm.
in this recent culture,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know that and they don't see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, and I don't know how you want to take it and if you want to wrap it up or what have you, but with all this, I know we spoke about, we touched on your story a bit. I think honestly, I would honestly like to touch on that more in a different type of way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In a different
Yes,
type of
sir.
way.
Yes, sir.
But then also we spoke about some of the ills that we notice in the community.
Yes, sir.
You've also shared how you're doing your part to to remedy that.
Mhm.
You know, and part of it is looking at the issues across the board and how can I play my part. But with that being said, is there any light that you see out there that gives you I don't know if you identified the word hope or some
Of
confidence,
course, of course,
okay,
of
or
course,
faith
of course,
that we are doing something, any light there that says that
of
you know we
course.
can turn this around.
Anytime I go out and I see young men, they're graduating.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are working.
Mm-hmm.
You have some young women that are working. You have some young women that are tending to their children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always that light at the end of the tunnel. I do see the light. I do see it's getting great.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to start young
Mm-hmm.
and bring them up. Because, see, what we have been doing is we're starting at a certain age. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to get them at 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we only take them from 5 to this age
Mm-hmm.
or this to that age.
Mm-hmm.
But what we got to understand is a child's pivotal time in their life to learn morals and principles and understanding
Mm-hmm.
comes from when? From the age of 1 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
Their first teachers is their mother and father from what ages? 1 to 3. Because at the age of 3 now everything is going in there. Nothing is going in their mouth no more. They starting to learn how to hear.
Mm-hmm.
They starting to talk.
Mm-hmm.
They starting to walk. You get what I'm saying? They starting to venture out into the world. So yes, I see light.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to start with the light.
Mm-hmm.
We can't start with the darkness, bro.
Yeah.
We got to come through with the flashlight.
Mm-hmm. And I think that with what you're saying there, I think it's also important that we, you know, because what I hear a lot of brothers do, to be honest, is they feel like they want to replicate, even though they may have moved out of these certain situations and maybe doing quote unquote better in a sense, they want their children to experience to some degree the some trauma. Like they want, it's almost like they, like you need to go through the struggle I went through in a sense.
Well, the thing is this. As you said, the fathers.
A lot of times the fathers, yes,
Okay.
you know.
But then you have the mother,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I said, that runs into these counties
Mm-hmm.
with no man
Mm-hmm.
and take these boys out to these counties.
Yeah, I see him on the women's side. He on
No, it ain't about balance, people.
Hey, look, hey, y'all get him. Y'all. Look, I can't even hold the brothers accountable. Look, he come back. Look, no, man.
You get what I'm saying? And, so they move them out in these counties, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Not to pacify, to do exactly that what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
to run away from the trauma that they had in their life. And they
Mm.
don't want their child to go through it.
Yeah.
And that's what all mothers say.
Mm-hmm.
And some fathers too.
So you know what it is. Mm.
I don't want them to go through it because I went through it.
Right.
But what you don't understand is when you do it the way you're doing it, you're perpetuating and you're pushing out a bunch of weak individuals.
And I think what you're saying though is that they have to go through something.
Something.
But at the same time, you can't go out into fairy tale land,
Mm-hmm.
and it ain't no real fairy tale land even out there, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
But there has to be some structure.
Yes.
There has to be some principles.
Yes.
There have to be some guidance,
Exactly.
even if you do put them in a different setting. But also now, getting back to what you're saying, what I struggle with is this idea of running in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still live in Baltimore City,
Right.
and it's been my duty, you know, to stay in Baltimore. Honestly, like it's been my duty, because I see us as being a very promising city. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm true and true be more Baltimorean, honestly, and I see but because I've seen so much opportunity, so much talent, so much intelligence, so much beauty, so much everything, and lots of times it being suppressed and oppressed, you know, systemically, through what we deal with. So I agree. I don't think we can run, and even if you do that, but I see now what you helped me see here is this dichotomy though, and what I mean by this dichotomy, that maybe this permissiveness that I often hear brothers complain about But then also here on the sister side, speak about this heavy handedness, like this overly aggressiveness, this like I want to manufacture, like I grew up around OIC, so now you know you little chump like. So now the father wants to toughen up the child and do all these things that might be a little over the top, and the child ain't even. You know how you say you kind of used to a certain environment, so
Right.
it becomes. But now that child can't even understand why his father's doing that.
Of course.
So and then on the other hand, you're saying now mom's coming to save. So now it's this conflict in the house that she's like, don't do that. You got to do it this way. Both people are really looking out for their children's interests.
Yeah,
But
that's balance. It's definitely balance.
if they were to use it
if
together,
you want to use it together,
right?
But at some forms, it becomes disrespect to the man.
It becomes a triangulation even. And what I
Yes,
mean
sir.
by triangulation is the child then begins to play them against one another.
Exactly.
But I do think that each person can learn from one another if we can, don't let me mess with your beliefs now. So I'm going to say submit to one another in some way, or to really just realize that look, she has a point and he has a point.
Well, the thing is, black men women have to stop being so big-headed and arrogant and think we know everything.
Absolutely.
We don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
We taught every day. I'm taught by 9-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. I apologize. Every day, because I deal with it. A child asks me a question, I don't know what that means. What? He's going to give me the answer.
Absolutely.
Now I know. It didn't come from Dennis. It didn't come from Mike. It didn't come from no grown up. It came from a child. And on everything I love. Allah be my witness. I'm learning from children now. And I'm giving to children. See, my job is to give from the wise and give to the young. That's it and that's all. If you're of my age range, okay, I got you. That's cool. All I'm going to do is give you this. A piece of paper to call whoever you need to call to help you. Whatever resource you need. But when it comes to that child, I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to walk with you through it. When it comes to that adult, when it comes to that grown-up, when it comes to that elder, I'm going to listen. I don't have much feedback to give to you. You've been here already. You've done this already. I can give you my insight on it all day. But I can't tell you about being shot in the butt if I've never been shot in the butt before you have.
I can imagine it hurts. But yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. So let me say this. In closing, final words, and also if you want, how can the people get in contact with you? I'll also leave my things as well.
Okay.
How they can follow you.
Final thoughts. We have a mission that's based upon us, man, from God himself. I don't care what culture you're a part of. I don't care what religion you subscribe to. He don't believe. He wants believers. Point blank period. I don't care how you flip and bounce it. The universe is the universe. The universe looks out for all of us. And it puts us in position to do things for not only us, but for these children that's coming behind us. So my final thought is, man, stand up, love the people, understand the people, and give the knowledge that you can give. Give the wisdom that you can give. Because Proverbs 8 says there was a time when wisdom wasn't. Wisdom say, when God was there, I was there. We have to use our knowledge and let it bud into wisdom in order for us to move to the next level in life. Because these are the last days. I don't know. It could be a minute today, it could be 10 years from now, but it's still abnormal to what's going on in society. And if no one is paying attention, you're going to miss the mark. And I pray that you don't. My name is Rainbow. Islamic name Musa. I want to say God bless. Have a blessed day.
I like to say family, like, share, subscribe. This was an off-the-cuff conversation with me and Brother Rainbow, Dr. DAW. I go by Dr. Dennis Assar Winkler. I thank my dear brother for coming by. We've been talking about this for some time, you know, and we sat down as one of the first of many sat downs and
Yes.
maybe different formats or what have you. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at dr.Dennis Assar Winkler. Facebook, Dennis Assar Winkler, spelled all out. Until next time, family, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow my dear brother. Don't forget to, you know, thumb up the video. Don't forget to leave a comment afterwards. You know, do all the things, you know, get us out there. I know you was, I thank you for blessing us today, dear
Yes,
brother.
sir. Yes, sir.
You got us, you know, I'm waiting
Well,
for
I
the
believe this is the first of many.
First Amendment.
I believe we got things to do.
Okay.
And I love your intellect.
Okay. Thank you, good brother. Likewise.
And I don't like to, and I don't, you know, run into many people that I can deal with intellectually. That's my level, a little bit higher.
Mhm.
My organization is the Village Co-op, building communities brick by brick.
I say.
I can be reached. When y'all hit me, y'all find out. But it's gonna be many more times that we're gonna do this, brother. We have a mission.
Oh, yes, sir. Peace, peace, peace. Blessings. All right, family. Till next time.